You call those people who like fire necromantic or something like that. I don't know. This is just my favorite way to. My favorite juju method is fire. Pretty fitting because I'm a fire sign. I'm a Leo. So this is just cinnamon. Cinnamon is good for prosperity, protection, just abundance, and just goodness. So let's have a little chit chat. I'm tired. I'm tired of hardness. I'm tired of aggressiveness. I'm just tired. I'm tired of being hard. I really am tired of being hard. Probably now, I'll probably say for the past 6 months, I have been extremely intentional about softening and relaxing and letting go in my body, paying attention to moments that cause me to tense up and figuring out where the tension lives. So for me, I carry a lot of tension, stress, and really anger. I think my anger is stored here. This is where my anger lives, and my shoulders. Fear lives in both my stomach but also in my IT band. Scarcity lives in my IT band, and like the need to correct, the need to like that franticness of like I gotta figure this out now, that all lives in here. So whenever I feel myself doing this, or I feel like, I'm holding in my legs, or I'm holding in my stomach, I like to drop into the moment and figure out like what is causing this. So when I'm out in the world, I feel myself like this. And so I'm always talking to myself. I'm always coaching myself through things. And so every time I go out the door, I coach myself to relax, to settle into my body, to settle into the experience. And while, yes, life in the world, when we step out of our home, our humble abode, our safe spaces, and we immerse ourselves into the world, we feel like we're out of control, because when you're in the world, anything can happen at any given moment and anything can happen to you. So it's like a defense mechanism. It's like I'm carrying my armor on me, which is this. But really, I'm at a place where I want to enjoy life for what it is, and not in a way that's naive. Like, I very much so am aware of the world, knowing of the world. I don't have any naiveness when it comes to the fact that this world is a hard place. It's filled with cruel people, ops, evil eye, weapons, But in my walking with God, especially in one of the scriptures to others, to me, scripture, affirmation, same thing, is help me seek your righteousness and kingdom above all else, because when I do, anything else needed is given to me. And I see this affirmation play out in so many ways for me, but in this sort of reprogramming, it's speaking to me in a way of, if I am seeking God's righteousness and kingdom above all else, why do I need to be tense? Why do I need to feel like I'm at war with somebody, or that I gotta be at war, or if I gotta like be bucked? Why do I feel like I gotta prove that I'm not somebody to be fucked with? Why do I feel like I have to be on a defense? If I truly believe that God is in me and I am of God, and that I'm seeking his righteousness and kingdom, like, Me personally, my work is to mirror God, right? And when I'll say this, not we, I like to remove all dogmatic, all religious context away from God, because I'm not a religious person, I'm a spiritual person. And so when I do that, when I remove that stuff away from it, I know that I'm allowed to be angry. I'm allowed to act on aggression. I'm allowed to fight, to curse, to go to bat. But for me personally, I feel like I spent my entire life doing that. I feel like I spent my entire life already on the opposite, like already being ready and prepared to be an op to any and everybody that I feel like is either intimidating me or that I just know for sure is not for me. But these days, I feel more and more inclined to soften because I know my strength. I know that I can protect myself. I know that I will protect myself. I know that I will set it off in any place at any given time. I know that I will never allow nobody to play with me, to play against me. And I know my worth and I know my value. Therefore, I don't need to be hard. I don't need to be aggressive. I don't need to constantly be prepared for battle in a way that causes me to exert so much mental and physical angst to where I am completely depleted, to where I have nothing left in my heart space, to where I have no comfort available in my body, to where I have no smoothness, to where I have nothing but rigidness. I'm choosing not to be rigid anymore. I don't want to be rigid. I'm softening. And with this, it feels already like a weight is being removed from me, because by softening, I am not only telling myself that it's safe, like it's safe to take up space in rooms where people who do not like me, who do not wish the best for me, who don't really care for me exist. I can take up space in those rooms because at the end of the day, I am seeking his kingdom and righteousness above all others. So anything else is a distraction. Anything else is laughable. Anything else is doesn't even hold the bandwidth to destroy me. Especially when I consciously know, oh no, you a hater. That's the devil. That's a distraction. What am I getting out of it? And for me, the hardest place to soften is really in my communication, because I'm a feeler. I feel everything, right? I feel everything. I'm an empath, and I'm also very sensitive. And I saw this video that has also been helping me with softening, is that when I take offense to something, for one, I'm giving my power away for you to even think that what you said or how you feel or whatever the case may be is big enough to make me feel like shit. Like thinking about the emotion, like the feelings that comes with offense. When you get offended, that shit hurts in your body. Like I don't know what it feels like in your body, but offense to me, like it just feels like I'm just being stabbed with 1,000 needles. It feels like my entire life is now rooted and determined by this statement, this whatever I have taken offense to. And it takes up and it sucks up so much time in the day, in the moment that it happens. It sucks up so much energy and it takes over. And I'm tired of giving people that. Like I'm tired of letting that part of me go. I'm tired of directing my life force energy to shit like that, to where it's just like, okay, You said something to me that I don't like. You did something that triggered something in me, and that's all right. But you know, triggers happen. I'm going to be triggered. But to respond to that in a way that is further, that is like continuing the detriment of what was already said in the first place, I'm going against myself. And so, like, at this point, I can look people, like I can look motherfuckers in their eyes and I know you one of them, right? And I'll know that. I'll know you one of them. I'll know that there's a disconnect in some sort of way. I know that, you know, whatever the case may be, I just know. And I would feel the need to like prove to them that I know who you are and I'm going to, I'm gonna get you back for that by saying this. I'm gonna get you back from that by coming out my body in this kind of way. I'm gonna get you back for that by reacting this kind of way. And now I'm at a point where it's just like, oh, okay, like I see you. I get that. I understand that. That's cool. I'm softening in that and knowing that I am still going to be okay. Life is still going to be blown into me. My abundance is still going to be intact. My happiness, my life force, my desires, none of that fucking goes anywhere just because you have proven to me to be a fucking aggravation. It doesn't move. Where does it go? It doesn't go anywhere. So I can soften in knowing that I can choose the higher road. I can brush it off. I can laugh it off. I don't have to engage with this. I don't have to mediate this situation. I don't have to have closure. I don't need to have a woman to woman, a heart to heart. I don't have to have none of that shit. Because none of it is contingent upon what's next for me, what's happening currently for me. So I soften. Because when I soften, I'm telling myself, oh, it's okay. You're safe. This is not something to carry. This is not something to muddle over. This is not something to get lost in, because I feel like a lot of it be the same shit over and over. It be repetition. And sometimes it's like the same fucking energy, whatever it is, whatever the entity it is, and it hides itself or disguises itself in different kind of people. But I don't know about y'all, but for me, as I go through different cycles in my life, I can see, like, I know this shit. I know this, oh, you the same motherfucking entity from that last chapter. And here you go again. You here again? You think you will get the same reaction to me? You're not. I won't. And some shit just ain't gonna change. Some people just ain't gonna change. So what's the point? What's the point of being hard and being aggressive and being so filled with this? And don't even be adrenaline. It's almost like hatred. And even subtracting people from the equation, circumstances. Some circumstances, especially shit that make you feel like your back is against the wall, but it's just like, whose wall is this? Because at the end of the day, this is still my shit. This is still my life. This is still my existence. This is still my reality. And it is still my birthright to live the life that I desire to. So what wall am I against? Soften. Soften. Keep softening. That's where I'm at right now. I'm softening. I'm softening into everything. I don't desire to. I don't have to. I'm over it. I'm tired. I'm 26, but my spirit is much older than that. And having an old soul, an old spirit, you know, being alive for so long and going through so many lifetimes as I know I have, I know I can tell I have a very old spirit. I really almost feel myself coming into a personal retirement. And I call it a retirement because it is symbolic of the retirement in this 3D concept of like, you put in the work, you gave 30, 40 years of your life to this job. You have done, you paid your debt, you put your work in, whatever the case may be. And now the reward is peace, is freedom. It's doing whatever you want when you want. It's having this lump sum of money that's guaranteed until the day that you die. It's not having to work again unless you fucked yourself up. But the theory behind retirement is that you're done. You're free. The chains are off you and you don't have to put them back on because you've done your time. I feel like I'm coming up in my own personal retirement because I've done my time. I put the work in. I have fought so hard, fought with people for so hard, for so long. I'm done. What am I going to keep being hard for? And I'm just at a point where I'm just like, okay, like, what is this shit really stopping? What is it? And why would I want to? And it's not a place, I'm not at all like avoiding problems or people or situations that calls for seriousness. But when you're someone like me, when you have been ultra serious, when you have been ultra offensive your entire life, you get to a point where that's all you know. I know struggle, I know anger, I know resentment, I know bitterness, I know envy, I know hatred, I know isolation, I know disempowerment. I know all those things. That's my armor. Well, it used to be my armor. But softness, grace, gentleness, ease, dismissiveness, in a sense of, oh, that's nothing. That has no value. That has no space. I have no time for that. Like, fully doing it. And doing that shit every single day in moments that cause me to want to do other things, opportunities that make me want to come about my body. And it's just like, I come about my body and then what? When I know at the end of the day, I don't have to deal with it. It can be as temporary or as permanent as I desire to be. And right now, I'm choosing temporary for a lot of shit and a lot of people. And my permanency that I'm leaning towards with my personal retirement is always softening. It's always choosing ease, always choosing joy, and always coming back to the point where this shit, whatever it is, I'm not giving it the energy or the power to overcome the peace that I have created, to overcome the legacy that I intend on leaving behind. In order to do that, I have to have a sound mind. So I'm choosing to soften.